Pull up a stool and pour yourself a pint as you're about to join three intrepid drinkers, Kevin, Justin, and Mark, as they embark on another Beertastic voyage.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Beertastic Voyage. My name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
I'm well enough as can be with a
Excellent.
result.
And there's Justin. How are you, Justin?
Why'd you fuck it up?
Because I felt like having fun.
You fucked it up.
All right,
Yeah.
let's start from the beginning.
No. It happened. It's over. Mark broke my heart. It's done. I was all ready. I was prepared to say my own name
I gotta
for
go.
for the 68th. What is it? Yeah, 68th time.
Yeah.
I was ready to say my own name, and no, not cool. All right. Yeah, I'm Justin. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, video.
And we're going live on video today,
Yeah,
too.
we're finally
Hi, everybody
in
on
HD.
video again.
If anybody watched the last two and you thought you were in the UHF 1987 days.
You get to drink from the fire hose.
You found the marble in the oatmeal.
And that's a whole different rabbit hole we can go down.
Yes. All right. So what the fuck are we here to do?
Today we have beers from Fire Island Beer Company. They are out of Bayshore, New York.
Yes.
Because I don't think you're actually allowed to have anything with that much plumbing on it on Fire Island.
Well, I'm sure you could, build it, but the cost prohibitiveness of getting all of the shit there.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad enough starting a brewery, period, but, trying to ship it over to the island and then trying to get all the permits to do it, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then knowing that the
Plus
first
the
hurricane is
neighbors,
just
the neighbors would never allow it.
and then the first hurricane is going to destroy it anyway, so why am I
Yeah,
going to bother?
I was like, was my thought. Is it essentially like you're going to make something almost as wide as the island at this point, and then every year, slowly but surely, lose a foot of land closer and closer to your brewery. I don't really think I'm into that.
Mark, do you remember when we went camping with scouts one year and we stayed in that abandoned motel that was about to collapse? I mean, and that point of the island was so narrow that you could throw a baseball from one side of the island to the other.
I was actually trying to figure out where the hell that was when I was wandering around Fire Island back in September.
It probably washed away a decade ago.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Maybe 2 decades.
Because it wasn't near any of the towns.
No. And in retrospect, it sounds a lot creepier than it was, than it felt at that point.
Yeah, it was definitely that was a weird experience.
You guys had a totally opposite experience as scouts than I did.
I
Completely
don't even know
opposite.
how we got there.
I don't remember either.
I know we
They
took
took the
ferry.
bag off my head and we were just there. I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
I know we took the ferry. I remember
Yes.
taking the ferry, but I don't even know how did we arrange to stay in an abandoned motel
Not me.
for a long weekend? So strange.
Yeah, we were super organized. You guys tell me stories, and we were regimented. Our patrol leaders took care of us. The scoutmasters didn't do anything. I mean, granted, we had 100 some odd kids in the troop, so the scoutmasters, if we wanted to at the time, we could have just gone totally we could have gone rogue and taken them over at any point.
Oh yeah.
Pass their skull around
It
as
would've
a
been-
speaking bowl.
Pretty much, it would have been that whole
Lord of the Flies.
Well, yeah, well, it would have been Lord of the Flies, and it also would have been the whole thing where how many kids can an adult take out? It's not 100.
No,
It's definitely not 100.
I don't think
Especially when you've organized us and we all have tone chips.
so.
Well, I mean, also you're talking about Boy Scouts too, not Cub Scouts. If they were 8-year-olds, then yeah, you just boot in the face.
Yeah, no. Me, I was 12 years old. I'm 5'11". No
Exactly.
shot. But anyway, so you trekked back out. You had a little nostalgia trying to find the abandoned hotel that the guy touched you in.
No, there was
And,
no touching.
There were signs for nuclear fallout shelter, though.
I do remember that. Yeah, that was weird.
There was a swimming pool that was filled in with sand. It was
Was it filled in with sand on purpose, or was
Yes.
it just from
yeah,
Yale?
because it was an abandoned motel, so they filled it in just liability.
Yeah.
But for some reason they decided to let 3 dozen
Somehow I feel
adolescent boys stay in it.
for some reason I feel like Kevin's dad drove past it and went, "This looks good." No one will say anything.
Possible. Possible. That was I think that was before he really started getting involved and being a helper guy of it.
Oh, okay.
But who knows? It's possible. He had no idea. He didn't know what was going on most of the time.
Well, you see what happens when you break script? We haven't even mentioned beer. We said we were doing Fire Island, and then all of a sudden we're off on this other tangent. I blame Mark. I appreciate the tangent, though, because it brings me back to my scouting memories.
There you go.
I'm sure some people are yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
There you go.
But anyway.
So, Fire Island Beer Company, I think I mentioned, it's in Bayshore, New York. I believe they actually contract brew with the guys at, what is it? Big one over there.
In Connecticut.
2 roads.
Oh, they in Connecticut as
Yeah.
well? I didn't realize they were also did in Connecticut. I was trying to think of Great South Bay. That was the word I was trying to stick out.
No, so...
Yeah. But they're in the same building as Great South Bay? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they have their own... They've got, like, the back corner of the building. Like, that's just theirs. They have their own brew house there. They've got their own fermenters. They got their own cold room. They're actually building their own tasting room.
That's kind of cool.
So, like, when I was there, like, they had the sheetrock up, but, like, it hadn't even been primed yet. Like, you still see the tape joints and that kind of thing.
I hate doing sheetrock. Like, really. Fucking hate sheetrock.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes it.
But anyway, you
focus.
I am.
Focus.
I'm trying, but my glass is empty. So let's get on with this.
So anyway, the company was originally started back in 2009 by a pair of brothers and their cousin.
Okay.
And at some point along the way, they sold the company, the brand, to this import company.
Okay.
The import company then decided, you know what, we're just going to focus on our import brands.
Fair enough.
So they reached out to this gentleman who was working as a consultant for them.
Okay.
And they're like, do you want it? And he was like, oh, you know what? I'm tired of my day job. Yeah, I'm going to run a brewery now.
Sounds good. And do we know that guy's name? If not, you can say
yeah, I believe his last name is Leonard.
I'm Mr. Leonard.
Yeah. I didn't actually type this out ahead of time, so I apologize for that.
That's all right. I'm okay with it.
But, so he took it on, and he lives in Connecticut, which is why we were always, like, a little confused as to why, like, it always comes up with an address in Connecticut.
Oh.
That's why.
Aha.
Because he lives in Connecticut. They've been basically contract brewing out of 2 roads.
Right.
For I don't know how many years now. And that's how they keep up with, their production demands. But they've always been wanting to, bring it back to Long Island, back to where it started from. And
that makes sense.
Rick Sabotka from Great South Bay was like, I'm not even using the whole building. Why don't you take over this 1,500 square feet?
There you go.
So that's what they're actually doing.
He's getting to the landlord.
Yeah, they've got. Well, I think he rents the building too. Like, I don't think he owns.
He's subletting.
Yeah. So they've got that back corner. They've got their brew house set up. They've got their cold room set up. I think they might be maybe just using Great South Bay's canning line because they are canning there.
Okay. I can't imagine that Great South Bay is using it 24/7.
Right. And they're working on the tasting room. And you can actually go there and buy beer to go right now.
I like beer to go.
Because,
very much so.
And the reason why it has to be to go is because their bathroom isn't in order yet, and that kind of thing. Yeah. So until all that's ready, if you reach out to them on the social media or hit up the info email address,
right?
You can schedule a time and be like, all right, I want to come pick up beer, and the sell team can take it to go. Which is what I actually did yesterday, and I met Dan, who's their head brewmaster.
Hi, Dan.
He's a very nice guy. Spent a little bit of time talking with him, telling him about the podcast. He set me up with a lot of beers, so
nice.
We've got the 3 that we're going to be drinking here today, as well as 3 more beers for another episode in the near future.
Okay. So which ones do we have with us today, Mark?
So we're starting off with their Fire Island Wit. And then we're also going to drink their Isla del Fuego, which is a Mexican lager, and we're going to wrap up with the sea salt ale, which is, I believe, an amber with Atlantic sea salt in it.
Okay, sounds good. So, Justin, just because I don't think we've done it in a little while, it's time to explain your favorite part of the day.
Excellent.
The rating system.
All right, so here's our bullshit rating system.
It's highly scientific.
Yes.
That's fucking bullshit.
So basically, it's how much of this beer do we want to drink? And I think Mark is handing me something, but he's not. He's showing it to the camera. I'm still not used to that. I apologize if anybody sees me scratch my balls.
It's not burning like the side of your face.
You mean my balls?
Yeah, hold that up.
No, the camera's not burning it. But anyway, our rating system.
Yeah, it's definitely not tight enough for that.
Our rating system is based on how much we want to drink in a sitting, essentially. And occasionally, if we really like it, we'll talk about cooking with it. It goes from a taster, a 5-point scale, from a taster to a pint, a bomber, a growler, and then if you have to have it, a rarely given keg.
I'm glad this is on video.
That's awesome. So Mark procured this shirt for Kevin for Christmas, and it has the SRM numbers on it.
Look at my man chest.
Yes, exactly. I feel like it should have been a V-neck. They should have gotten that in a V-neck.
Deep V. But then the chest there would have skewed the top couple layers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, it's the SRM scale, and it's fantastic. So I was attempting to compare the beer color to my shirt, and looking down at my shirt, I'm going to say it's about a 3.
Yeah, it's definitely yellow.
Yeah, it's a yellow to maybe gold, maybe.
Yeah, it's not quite gold color, but
no, it's a little. It's definitely yellow. It's not dark enough for gold. But it's definitely darker than straw.
Agreed.
Smells awesome.
Yeah, so their flavor text is inspired by the wet sand beaches of Fire Island. The Fire Island wit is a traditional Belgian-style flavored wheat ale hopped with Tettnang to give an authentic taste and aroma. And it definitely has the coriander kind of aroma to it. Whether or not there's actually coriander in here, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it might just be yeast character.
Yeah, it's nice though. I like it's very clean smelling.
The aroma's great. Flavor-wise, it's super malty, and then you get a little bit of the bite from the wheat, and then it's got a sharper finish.
Yes.
But it's exactly what a wit's supposed to do.
Oh yeah, no, this is a very good wit.
I concur. Like you hit it on the nose. It's got that little bit of the spice, not the spice, but the kind of coriander pepperiness in the nose, but it's really clean. And
I just realized they have the SRM on the website, and it's 2.4.
All right, so saying 3, I think was fair.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty damn close.
I feel like if we rounded, you were still off, but
nobody said this was the Price is Right rules.
Yeah, we never agreed Price is Right rules.
True.
If we did, I would totally be on board with it. All right, but for now, I'm saying that I get to go to the showcase showdown.
Also, it's not like you said it was 1.7.
That's true.
Good, true.
All right. Remember to spay and neuter your pets. It's very important.
Is Drew Carey contractually obligated to say that? I don't know. I've never watched.
I haven't watched the whole episode with him. I watched like 20 minutes when I was homesick one day, and then I watched.
I think that's the only time that anyone has ever watched The Price is Right.
No, that's definitely not true.
As a kid, I used to religiously watch it, but obviously that wasn't with Drew Carey. That was with our homie Bob Barker.
Yep.
In the days before he got knocked out by Adam Sandler.
So, the beer is also 5% alcohol and 17 IBUs.
Okay. I think it's really nice, clean drinking beer. I think it would be great as a substitute for any mass market lager in the summertime. I would throw this in the crab boil. I would throw this in with spicy. I would drink this to cut through spicy food. Or just even with burgers and dogs, this would be sweet. Like it's really great. But I think it's also simple enough that screams to add something else to it. Go ahead. You want to use this as a base to start adding some crazy stuff to it? Go for it. Let's find out what you can add.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty ideal wit beer. I think this is the raspberry wit I made for my first beer. Obviously, this doesn't have raspberry in it, but this was the character I was going for, and I got celery instead. So
yeah, celery is not really that desirable.
No, it's not.
But I'll start it off, and I'm gonna go with a bomber on this one. Give me 2 of these. Hot day, it might be more, but for here in the frostiness of late December, it's gonna be just the 2, and then I'm gonna move on to something else.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you with the bomber. I want to have more than one. I love how clean it is, but I'll probably just because of my personal taste go on to another one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for a raw on this. I really enjoy it. It's nice and light, and yeah, I easily drink my way through a growler of it.
I gotta say, as the first beer of the day that we're drinking, it's a perfect beer to get the day started.
Yeah, I definitely
like start a flight or start just like a session. Like, and what did this come in at? What was the?
It's 5.
5. So I mean, it's it's a little bit to be drinking a lot of, but you could session this and be all right. And it says that it has orange peel in it.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, it says coriander and orange peel on the label. So to throw an orange in here, a Blue Moon style, might be a nice kick on it.
Yeah, and the orange peel might also be where I was getting the sharper finish from too, possibly.
Yeah, the little bit of the pithiness.
Oh yeah. Yep, that makes sense.
So this one wasn't. The artwork on it is kind of nice. It's got
I definitely like and this is part of like their more recent like rebranding of the different beers. But I definitely like the aesthetic and how like the deer is now featured prominently on all of them. Like the can of sea salt that I have here is like the older style.
Right.
It's like like a painting that somebody had done, and it just doesn't tie the brand together as well as the kind of cartoonish simple deer. On the wit here, it's sitting in a beach chair.
Yeah, a little more fun.
And now in the as we go to the second one with the Isla de Fuego.
You have to like zoom in on that because this is a pretty great thing. You getting that there? I can't tell.
You got the ubiquitous white-tailed deer of Fire Island wearing a sombrero and a blanket.
Yeah.
I think there's a fancy name for the blanket too, but I don't know.
Yeah, there definitely is. I just literally went through my head.
Is it not just the poncho?
Poncho.
Poncho is what I was going for, yes.
I said that before too, and like I forgot.
Yes.
This one looks gold.
I'm going to agree that this one's going to gold, so I'm going to put this one at 4.
I'm going to go 6 or 7.
Yeah. 4 is yellow.
All right, 4 is yellow. Well, my shirt is not quite highly scientific.
But you also have to. You're also looking at it like you're trying to see if you still have a dick.
Listen, the holidays, we've been eating a lot.
Yeah.
We've all put on a few weights, so sometimes you gotta double check, make sure everything's still there.
For me, I would just have to go like this, just cup up, and I could see it.
Just cup up.
So did they list the SRM on this one?
Yeah, it's there. Hang on.
That's cool. Settling a beer wager.
4.5.
4.5. That's some bullshit.
And I said 4. This time, Price is Right rules, I still win.
Yeah, I know, but I'm disagreeing with 4.
Suck it. So this is a Mexican-style lager with lime in it. And it says, this refreshing Mexican-style lager with lime juice. We use a Vienna-style lager malt base, subtly hopped with Willamette.
Willamette!
There you go.
Willamette is what I'm putting in the Mexican lager that I'm making.
You're planning a Mexican lager?
I just said I'm planning a Mexican lager.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
The tequila soaked oak.
Yeah, but I don't think we were recording at that point.
No, we weren't. No, we totally weren't. But
Okay.
Mark just blatantly forgot.
Okay.
No, I wasn't.
Now that
paying
we
attention.
all have memory issues, apparently.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
So
I was
apparently
doing
The
other things.
sweetness of the lime
Oh,
comes out in the nose of it. I haven't had it yet, but the sweetness
I had
is there.
one of these yesterday when I was there talking to Dan, and I enjoyed it. It's a damn good beer.
yeah, this is awesome. Like, this is definitely what I want. Mine, I think I want a little bit more malt forward, but this is like really, really tasty. When you were talking about drinking something on a hot summer day, like, man.
Yeah. Now, your exact response was, oh, they decided to make a Corona.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
Well,
better. Like,
Well, they make this is Corona. We've had a Corona,
It's canned
Corona
Corona,
in a can, exactly.
Yeah.
The Corona in the can. This is definitely better, but it's the same. Again, obviously, it's the same style, so
Right.
it's a similar profile when you're drinking it.
Yeah.
I like this better because it gives you that little hint of lime without having to shove a lime in it.
Yeah.
Which obviously depending upon the lime could overdo things.
that's true.
But this is really crisp.
No, this is really tasty. I like this one. Mark, what's your thoughts on it?
No, I enjoyed it. I think it's the right amount of lime.
Yeah.
Like you said, Justin, it isn't overdone, but it's also very clean and like the history of Mexican lager. It's a German lager, like
Right.
just like what happened in Milwaukee and whatnot. Like a bunch of German immigrants moved into Mexico and started making their beer there.
Yeah, just said,
And it became
Mexican
Mexican
beer
style
here.
lager.
Well, they also use the continental hops a lot of the time for them. Like
Right,
Willamette's from is an American hop.
Yeah, but that's because that's what they can get a hold of.
Right.
But,
Yeah, that's the only distinction.
Yeah.
And also, especially I've been doing a ridiculous amount of looking into this because I'm making one. Apparently, a lot of the craft varieties are like way over hopped, like way more so than usual. This one obviously isn't. So this is much more, like they said, true to the German way of doing things.
Well, I want to bring up the
there's 25.2 IBUs on this.
That's right. That's literally right in the style wheelhouse. It's 20 to 30 is the style.
Well, I wanted to mention the podcast that you had turned me on to, the one episode after the Nothing Wasted event.
Yeah, Brew Files.
The Brew Files one, where they were talking about the guy that they were interviewing in that episode was remarking about how everybody who makes their own beer, every society when they make their own beers, once they start to take other society styles, they definitely implant their view on things. So all the American style versions, and any Americans who make other varieties, there's going to be a little bit of slant on it. It's never going to be exactly what they would make in that other country. And it just kept happening over and over and over. And that's why you get so many similar but different stuff, but distinctly different styles. So here, with the Mexican lager, even though it's a German lager, it's got that little bit of difference in there.
Oh yeah,
because it's viewed through that little bit of different prism of like, we want to focus on this part of the beer.
Yeah, that was when I was listening to that. I knew, especially being the history buff, you'd be.
Yeah, that was really intriguing to me.
And just as you were saying that, it makes a lot of sense. Like if you look at, if you get an American porter versus an English porter, the American porter is heavily hopped because that's one of the hops. Our hops are one of the ingredients that we pretty much, that we have. That's our thing.
Right. That we overdo all the time.
Also,
it's going to be stronger.
And that's an American thing. If you're going to do this much, we're going to do 70 times more than you are.
And it's going to be 1.5% alcohol stronger.
Right, exactly. It's almost like, God damn it, Kingpin, where Randy Quaid bowls 15 frames instead of 10.
We do everything half again as much as you English do.
Yep, exactly. I'll kick things off with ratings. This is going to be a solid growler for me. I really, really enjoy this.
I think I'm going to go with the Bomber again on this one. Just that I might have two of this, and I just want to I like to keep moving on, but this is a really nice one. And if they have this in flats, I might grab a flat of this for a party beer.
Yeah, I mean that.
Like I would replace some of the some other party beers with this guy.
Oh, for sure.
For an occasion.
This is one I could like. My mother loves Corona.
Oh, you hand her this, and she might just go, "Ooh, this!" Like, don't show her the can. Just hand her this, and she'll be like, "Ooh, that's really good."
My mother and my father would go berserk.
Yeah, I would. I think you could turn a lot of people onto this beer and just be like, "Hey, we're drinking this instead." And I can totally see a case of this just hanging out in your cooler down on Fire Island. You're down there hanging out you're at the beach for the weekend. I could get a flat of this and just drink this all weekend.
Yeah.
It's really good, and because it's not, I think a 6-pack is the right number, but that's not on our point scale, so I'm going to call it a growler.
I appreciate that, thank you.
So that Justin doesn't threaten my life.
It's only it's threatening with love. I would wear your skin if I actually killed you.
I mean, not to make you feel bad about it.
Oh, no, it would only cover, my quad.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd really have to fatten me up for this.
Yeah, but you could if you took a scalp, you could totally have that as a hat. It would have to extra. You could have ear flaps.
It wouldn't be a hat. It would be a hood.
I'd also need a lot of lotion because, as you can see, I've got, bad hand
nasty right there, yeah.
So the last one that we have is the Sea Salt Ale, which is an ale brewed with Atlantic sea salt, and I'm scouring the can here for a little bit more information about it.
Yeah,
I'm not really seeing a whole lot. It tells you a little bit about the Fire Island Beer Company. It's got a deer on there. I think that might be a whale in the water. Fire Island Lighthouse.
Yeah, I don't really feel like it's drawn to scale.
Well, it's the deer's taking a selfie. It's hard to do with hooves, man.
That's true. Good point.
But it does have the wonderful Fire Island Lighthouse.
So I can tell you that it's 5.2% alcohol, 20 IBUs.
And
We've gone back to the yellow.
And 3.6
Oh, he's
2.5.
SRM.
3.4.
Oh, solid.
Oh.
Price is right. Price is
I
right.
was over. 3.6. I was over. I should have been the guy that should have won.
Yeah.
Benny.
You died.
Oh my
I'll
god.
fucking cut you.
Now, taking a whiff of this one smells.
Ooh, we got hops.
Yeah,
it's
this one.
definitely,
American hops are here.
We got some C's on this one.
Yep.
That's gonna be my guess. My guess is gonna be I take a stab
Wait,
at it.
no. This one. This is Amarillo. I'm saying.
Do we know the answer to this?
I'm saying this
Before
one.
we go
I'm
to the
saying
show.
this one's Amarillo because I keep because I'm trying to remember a couple episodes back when we did this, and I kept saying it's C hops, and you went, no, it's this. No, it's this. I'm saying that this is Amarillo.
It could be Amarillo. My other guess would be Columbus, but I'm not that good at it yet. On Monday, I'm brewing a smoked porter. Smoked porter, mesquite smoked porter.
Okay.
And I'm doing some late hop additions
Yeah.
with clusters. So this will be my first time making a beer that's actually going to have like a hop aroma to it.
Okay.
So I'm going down this road, but I'm not overly confident. Do we have an answer on that? No, that's unfortunate.
Well,
maybe if Dan listens, maybe you could email us and
Dan,
tell
if
us.
you know, or if anybody happens to know, like you were in the brewing process,
He definitely knows. He brews the damn thing.
well, if he listens and tells us,
Yeah.
that's more of what I'm getting at. If you're listening,
I know.
Dan, I'm looking at you through the camera. Look
Citra
deep into
and
my 4
Centennial.
eyes. Tell us the hops.
Citra and Centennial, if Untapped is to be believed.
Okay,
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Very possible.
that's all right. I went C's, so I had a larger blanket. I had the field, basically. Like you had one pick, and I had the field. So, and I was wrong with Columbus when I went specific. But we love us some Citra. I haven't had a sip yet. I should probably have a sip.
Interesting.
I like it.
It's got a little lemony flavor.
Yeah, I really like it like the salt portion of it, but I hate lemon, and that's the overwhelming final flavor I get is lemon.
Really, because the finish that I get is kind of like almost like a salt residue drying on my palate.
Yeah, it's like you almost drowned at the beach and you had to spit all the water out, and the salt is just coating the inside of your mouth. Like that's what it tastes like.
I love how no matter what we're trying to like explain, it comes back to some level of death, whether it's our own or someone else's.
Well, I mean, we are slowly poisoning ourselves to that.
That is true. But especially when we're doing 3 and 4 episode clips, where we're pretty much just saying liver, fuck you.
I hear it's evil and needs to be punished.
It does. Liar salute.
This one is not doing it for me.
Nah, me neither.
I think as much as I enjoy the last one, this is as much as I don't like this one. The salt is present and kind of overwhelming to me, and there's a lemony, like a lemon rind kind of flavor thing going on there that I'm really not enjoying. I'm just gonna go right out and this is a taster for me.
Yeah, it's also a taster for me, and it's really I like the first half of what I'm getting, the holding lemon finish in the back of my throat, and this is a personal preference thing. I can't stand lemon. Like I won't even put lemon in water.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my threshold for it. So I'm gonna go taster on it, but I do appreciate the idea of the salt in the beer. I like that. If we had a different hop profile on the finish, I think I would be pretty into it.
I'm gonna go a little bit above the two you guys and call it a pint, but definitely after that pint, I'm gonna need something else because the salt would just be too much after the glass.
Yeah. And again, maybe with a dish or something, this might not be so bad. With food, this might balance out well, but for me right now, just as is, it's a little too much for me. Yeah. What else we got?
So I was just having a tasty butter cracker.
There you go.
If you'd like me to say the name, sponsor us.
I can't. I have have zero pull. I have no pull there.
Oh well. Well, you sponsor Kevin enough. So we
with my paycheck.
I like the first 2 beers a lot though.
Yeah, I was. I feel like I've had some stuff from Fire Island before, and I feel like the sea salt one is what I'm remembering the beers that I had them tasting like. I don't know if it was this one or not. I really can't remember, but I was really pleasantly surprised with the Isla de Fuego, and even the first one, the Wit, I thought was really good. Mark, do you have any info? What are some of the other ones that they have out there?
Well, so
Maybe if you say the name, I'll remember.
they've got 5 flagships. So the Red Wagon IPA
That's had that one.
is their IPA. They've got the Lighthouse Ale,
I've had that one too.
which is
I feel like I didn't really. I know I didn't like the Red Wagon IPA. No, I didn't like that one. But that's.
It's been so long since I've had it. I don't honestly know. The sea salt is, and then the Isla de Fuego and the Fire Island Wit are there.
That's their
They're
core
5.
Okay.
I believe they had an amber or something.
The amber is the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I apologize. The Lighthouse was the one that I've had.
Yeah.
I've had the sea salt one before. I remember it being different the last time I had it. I think you said they've altered it or something recently.
I think after the new owner took the reins, I know he's been like tweaking things and whatnot. So
I know I definitely had the Red Wagon IPA that I did not like, but the Fire Island, the Lighthouse Ale, I'm sure I had. Probably said like it's okay, but I don't remember. It doesn't stand out to me in anything that I would remember and having to go back to. But these first 2, I'm a fan of.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put these on my list of when the weather warms up and grab these again.
yeah, and then for future episode we've got their pumpkin.
Okay.
I believe an oyster stout.
Okay.
And then
Oyster stouts I've wanted to try. I've never gotten a chance to try one yet. I'm looking forward to that.
and then the Lighthouse, I believe, is the other one that I have from him. You may have given me another one too.
Okay.
Dan was very kind and interested in the podcast, and I was talking to him about it, and he loaded me up basically.
Well, cheers to you, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Pretty awesome.
He gave me. We have 4 bottles. It's 2 different beers, but we've got 4 unlabeled bottles that are like samples for like giving out to prospective accounts. So next time we're gonna have to like pop them open and like smell it and be like, all right, this is the pumpkin.
Okay. I like that. That's fun. It'll be named that beer.
Right, we can show it just how shitty our palates really are. We're like, it's IPA. No, it's pumpkin, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. This sucks.
And so like I said, definitely a good mixed offering here. And once they get the tasting room open, Bayshore is getting to the point where they're really gonna compete with Riverhead as far as craft beer nexus on the island.
Yeah, seriously, you have the Brewers Collective expanding.
Yeah,
Hopwinds
is working on opening up right next door to Brewers Collective, and then you got Great South Bay and Fire Island in the same building.
And then Dubco.
Right.
Yeah, Dubco's not far away either. Yeah, that's a good trip right there. The only problem is there's a lot more traffic over that way than there is in than there is in Riverhead.
Well, plus you're circling the police station over there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna go to these different breweries and circle the police station. But that's about it, guys. I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, I can't wait to sample another episode. And just to tease something, you said you wanted to try an oyster stout. Well,
yes.
Next week's episode, we'll have an oyster stout on it.
Outstanding. So looking forward to that.
So, we do have one other thing, and
but wait, there's more.
a few episodes back, we mentioned that we now have a voice account that you can call and leave us messages.
That's true. You have the number there, Mark?
I need to pull it open because
Okay.
I forget to actually.
While Mark pulls that up, if anybody didn't listen all the way through last week, at the end of last week's episode,
Steve Wynn.
You could see an interesting voicemail that Steve Wynn from Hopwinds, the aforementioned Hopwinds, left us. So,
I think we might have to put Steve on notice here in 2018 that like, Steve, we hear the threats that you're sending to Justin, and we're just saying like, won't be tolerated, man. Won't be your aggression will not be tolerated, man. I'm trying to think of the exact quote.
I know. I was.
Glenn, I know is listening, and he's screaming at it
right now.
And he's going, I know him, and you're saying it wrong. So he's screaming at his phone. But
he's wearing one of the 14 Big Lebowski things that he was getting at Christmas.
Yeah.
While reading He Abides.
Exactly. So what's the number, Mark?
So that number is 631-605-7240. If you want to call and leave us a voicemail, if we think it's funny and might entertain our listeners, we'll definitely, put it on.
Let's be blunt. If you just call in and breathe heavy, you're totally getting on the end of the episode. But at this point, not a lot of competition. So whatever you can send us, we appreciate.
Yeah. Any questions or comments or your thoughts about the beers that we tried today? If you've had them and you want to let us know about them, that'd be greatly appreciated, folks.
Especially if you disagree and you want to tell us to go fuck ourselves. I'm really into hearing that.
Yes. All right then.
As long as you breathe heavy a little.
Right. Just breathe heavy a little bit. Help brother out.
Justin, well, it only needs to be like 5 seconds. He'll just loop it and be fine. All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed Beertastic Voyage, please be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to review and rate us. The guys can be found online at www.beertasticvoyage.com, on Facebook at www.facebook.com/beertasticvoyage, and Twitter and Instagram at Beertastic Show, or send them a good old-fashioned email at beertasticvoyage@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers for local beers.